All right, we're live. We're streaming to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. It's the first episode of AI Made Simple live stream. Welcome, everybody. So, who's this for? Well, this is for folks realizing that AI is here, it's in our world. We're going to have to learn to work with it. And so, you're AI curious, you want to learn some tips, be comfortable, and move forward with a little bit of confidence, right? You know, I think of AI as you can tame that tiger, you can fight that tiger, and you end up like, what's his name? Siegfried and Roy. I think it was Roy. You can end up like Roy, or you can tame this tiger and move forward with confidence. And that's why we're here. So today, what I wanted to do was just to show you how to, this is how I think about AI. There's just certain expectations that you can have of it that'll make it easier for you. And so we're going to spend a little time learning how to prompt, learning how to work with a project to kind of get things organized. And we'll start here. I'm going to present my screen. And there we go. All right, if everyone can see, yep. So what we've got here is ChatGPT. So let's quickly do an orientation here. So in your screen, you've got your side prompts here. You can start a new chat. You can code now. You can work on videos. There are GPTs out there that folks have made that you can use. These are custom GPTs that I made that I'll share with you later. These are free. And then you got your project section. You can choose your models, which you want to use. And this is your chat window where you can put in your prompts, pick your tools. You can dictate instead of type. So let's hop in here. So what I wanted to do today is let's work on a project together. So if you have GPT and maybe a tab that's open here, you can go and kind of follow along. But I just thought, when we're working on this is a great way to assimilate. So if you imitate, then you can assimilate, and then later you get into a confidence where you can create, right? And so when we look at a project, what is a project? A project is a tool that you can do long running. Just think of it as your office manager that's going to help you get your arms around the chaos, because there's a lot of things going on in your business or in your life that you have these initiatives that you're working on. And so if you can start to kind of get them organized, much like folders in a file, then you can start to think of this as your personal strategic thinking partner, right? So I thought, all right, so a lot of people, we maybe want to work on our health in some way, but there's a lot of confusing voices out there and different opinions. So why not build one that understands us, and then we can start to go back and forth with in a conversation and start to make an improvement, get organized, make a plan. So when we look at this, we have in a project, you're able to choose the models that you're using. Different models are great for different tasks. I just use O3 as mainly because it's advanced reasoning. I just use it just because I like it. And the other thing that it does is it helps me write really good prompts. So when we're looking at this, much like a custom GPT, we have what's called a knowledge base. So this is where we can bring in files, and any file that you bring in would be like, all right, consider these resources. I've taken these resources, I've added them to this project, and refer to these resources first. So much like, let's say that there are certain thought leaders that you follow in the health world, and you like, that fits your lifestyle, that fits the way that you want to think about your health. That's someone's whose information that you appreciate. Well, you can go out and collect that information and then bring it in and add it to this as your file. And so now it's going to start referring to and be influenced by this information that you put in. And so let's just say that we want to do, we want to search the web, and let's just say that I would like health information from Dr. Chris Wusterhausen. That's one of my clients. And so I'm going to just let this thing, I'm going to turn this thing loose to go out and find some information from Dr. Chris. And then it's going to bring it in, and then I'll show you how we can quickly add that information. You pick some information from that and create a file and start to bring it in our knowledge base. But in the meantime, while that's working, let's go to instructions. Now, instructions are this is a prompt window. So this is basically what you're saying. Hey, I want you to take a position. I want you to be a health professional, and I want you to I want you to just be a strategic consultant to me as far as health considerations. And we're going to use a knowledge base. I want to lose so many pounds, or I want to gain, strength, or whatever that may be. You tell it, help me achieve these goals, right? So how can I put this in? Well, basically, this is a prompt. And when we think of using ChatGPT, whatever model it is, Gemini, Grok, Chat, this is a prompt window. Okay? And so what we would do in this prompt window is tell it what we need. And so I like to use what's called confession prompting. Why? Well, let's say I'm not an expert in creating prompts. So let's just confess and let it help me write my prompts, right? So let's do this. Hey, I need some help writing a prompt for my personal health improvement coach. And I'm not sure the best way to go about writing this prompt, but this is what I want to do. Let's say I'm 60 years old, and I want to improve my balance. I want to improve my strength. I don't want to be a big meathead, but I want to be like, I just want to feel, I want to feel confident in the way that I move through life, and I want to refer to Dr. Chris's, his thinking or in his concept of improving your health. So I just want to be able to come to you and strategize about how I'm going to focus on my diet, focus on my exercise, and focus on my mindset around that. So help me write a quick prompt to add to my custom instructions. And so we'll let this quickly pop in here, and we'll turn it loose. And it's going to go out. It's going to help me write my prompt. All right, so now it's come back with a copy and paste prompt for me. See how easy that is? So I'm going to pull that in. Going to go back to my project. I'm going to add the instructions. I'm going to save. Let's go look at what we've got here as far as Dr. Chris. All right, this is excellent. So I'm going to say, all right, now give me his top 10 strategies for age management. So what we're going to do is quickly take these strategies that it comes up with, and then we'll put it in as a document or as part of my knowledge base. We're doing this really quick, but imagine you could add as many files. Well, you could, within reason, whatever the limitations are in here, you could add many files into this. Then you've got so here we got our prompt. This is all good to go. And still working. So it's gone out. You know, our world's changed from searching ourselves to now that we're just asking. We're going to chat, ask, get the answer, let the tool go out and do all the searches that we used to. And now it's going out and organizing what would take us hours to do, assuming that we didn't get distracted. Then here we go. It's doing this for us. So while this is working, let's move on here. We'll come back. So we covered confession prompting, and then right now we're working on our knowledge base. Wanted to kind of show how I use this to help a customer this week. So one thing they're having a hard time is getting their Google business profile approved. And I've been doing this work for years. And this was an answer I didn't have. So I came in and I confessed to, basically, I just said, hey, I'm having an issue getting this, and I just want it to work. And it's really frustrating. Is there an expert I can go to in a unique channel that I haven't discovered that would help me get my Google business profile resolved? It's very important. A Google business profile for your business is one of the most valuable things that you can do in your business. It's just, you think about what Google's doing is they want to connect people who are searching, especially local, with a business that they trust and know. And so claiming and verifying and updating your Google business profile is huge. And so what you need to do is get a little help on that. So this person had been spending almost 2 months now trying to get their profile approved. And so I'm wondering who in the world that they could call directly and get help. And so I just turned it loose and let it figure it out instead of me spending hours. And so it gave me some great suggestions. But one of the items was, it suggested a person. Yeah, here we go, Ben Fisher. So if anyone's out there is having a problem, Ben Fisher has personally handled over 3,800 Google business profile reinstatements in a single year. Well, that's a huge thing. I would have never known about Ben or how to get in touch with him, right? But this is another example of how search is changing, because now ChatGPT is bringing that data, and you can be pretty confident because it spent a lot of time researching this and bringing it in. So I shared with them, and they're off to the races. So let's go see what's going on here. So here's the 10 strategies, right? This is pretty cool. So what I would do is create a document, pop these in to that document, bring it back into my health coach, and add those 10 strategies. I just go add a file, which would be a Google document in my case, and I would paste it and add the file in there. So let me do that right quick. If you got some, and I'm going to download that document real quick, just as a PDF. Add the file right here, pop it in. It brings that file in. Takes a minute. All right, so while it's working, let's move along. So one of the topics I wanted to talk about today is how Google's in a dilemma. Their whole business has been based on search, but yet our world is changing and everything is adopting AI. And truthfully, they're one of the most advanced companies in AI, and yet they're struggling with how to bring AI into their existing business model and not ruin all of their main income, which is most of the revenue comes from search revenue, ads that they sell. It's called the innovator's dilemma. I was reading on X. So this AI frontier, this is playing out in real time. And really, this is what's happening to all of us, is that we've been working in something that works. Our business model has been working for years, but all of a sudden everything's being disrupted, and we need to figure out how to quickly pivot. And Google's not immune to this. And so it's in a big challenge, just like I showed. Instead of going to search and finding all that data, I just went and asked ChatGPT. Did we see any ads? No. Did we click on any ads? Not at all. And so this is where Google is. They have to figure out how to quickly pivot, just like all of us. No one is immune. Our governments are being disrupted by AI, our organizations. Your job, this is why I'm saying instead of fight the tiger and end up like Roy of Siegfried and Roy, you got to tame this tiger. And it's just figuring out how to modify it to work and support you. All right. So what they're doing at the moment is they're integrating it into Gmail. They're integrating into their workspace. We'll talk about agentic AI, but they're trying to pivot. Workspace flows can use gems. Gems are nothing other than a custom GPT inside of Google Gemini, but then they're using it to help build out AI agents inside of your existing Google workspace. You're already using Docs, maybe. You're already using Gmail and other Google products. This is how you coordinate it and connect it with your other apps. And so they're reinventing themselves. And that's part of no one's immune. All right, so let's go back and check right quick. When documents uploaded, then I can just ask what can I expect of you? And now it's going to spit out just like I see it's reading the documents. That's the document we put in there. And now it's going to come out and say, all right, here's what you can going to help me work on my diet, my exercise, my mindset, and it's going to be influenced by Dr. Chris's Yeah, his strategies. And so that right there, my friends, is how you can quickly get your custom project inside of ChatGPT to start helping you solve little problems, issues that you've been wrestling with, like being a personal health coach. All right. So what did we learn today? We learned how to do a confession prompt. Okay. We learned how to create a knowledge base. We learned how to set up a project. We learned how to solve a business problem without needing to do search. We learned that Google is in the same boat that we are. They're trying to figure out how to take their existing business model and quickly modify it to be relevant in the future. All right. So that's our first episode of AI Made Simple. I made this for you. You go to roionline.com/linktree. These are free custom GPT tools to help you simplify. We got your prompt coach to help you write prompts. Just like if you don't want to use a confession prompt model, you can use this prompt coach. That'll help you write the particular prompt for the problem you're working on. Your message makeover coach, our most popular one. Pre-lawyer contract. We'll cover these later. Cash flow clarity coach. Maybe you want a little help getting your act together with your finances. Google Business Profile Coach, and then a prompt coach for projects. That'd be like a project manager prompt. Then if you want to learn to work with me, I work with thought leaders. We do these live streams like this. We produce, download their subject matter expertise and help them create a content flywheel. You can go to roionline.com/clarity sessions, schedule a strategy session, and let's talk about how we can get you up to speed with ChatGPT. All right, kids. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff that the cool kids say. And we'll see you in the next episode of the AI Made Simple live stream.